This video is a really simple structure. If you follow the 5 things that I'm about to share with you, the conversion rate on your Shopify store is going to increase. Maybe you know 1 or 2 of them, but I highly doubt that everyone watching this video right now is doing all 5 of them in congruence. And that brings us to our first point, which we'll get into in just a second. What's up guys, Jory back at it once again with another e-commerce related video. This one is going to be talking directly about the Shopify platform and things that you can do right now on your store to get a higher conversion rate. And if you have a higher conversion rate, you just make more money, which is probably why you clicked on the video thumbnail, right? I'm not judging. With that being said, make sure to leave a like rating down below. It really does help out with the YouTube algorithm. It helps these videos reach more people. Subscribe and hit the bell to stay notified for when I post new content in the future. I have a wonderful Facebook ads guide coming up in the next few days that I think you guys are really going to like, especially if you're into Shopify e-commerce, so stay tuned for that. So number 1, congruency. And this is something so many big brands just do not care about, and it baffles me. If you're unfamiliar with what the term is or what the term describes, it's essentially having your paid traffic, whether that be through Facebook, Google, Pinterest, or any other platform out there, that traffic needs to have complete congruency with your landing page. And I'll give you a good example. If you're trying to sell something like t-shirts, for example, there's a ton of apparel brands out there, and your ad that's leading to your website shows a picture of a green t-shirt. Well, you better have a green t-shirt be the first thing that someone sees when they land on your landing page or your website. Too many times I see people directing traffic to their homepage of their website instead of the product page, or even worse, they're directing it to something that's completely unrelated. But the more nuanced thing that I see more times than not is just color and general product descriptions just not being congruent with the ad. If you have a buy one, get one free offer on your ad, say, hey guys, click the link below to buy this and get one free, 100% free, and then you direct the traffic to your landing page and it's not a buy one, get one free, that's a huge congruency issue, and it's definitely going to lower your conversion rate. Simple things like color, as I mentioned before on a t-shirt. If you have a green t-shirt, do not lead them to a landing page where the first image that they see is a red t-shirt. It doesn't matter if you have color variants that they can select later on, but that above the fold needs to be a green t-shirt. It needs to match with your ad. Number 2 is going to involve your product images, and not in the way that you might think. Here's the problem that a lot of stores have that makes them seem really unprofessional. All of their product images are different sizes, and the themes that you use on Shopify, some of them can correct it, some of them have cropping, some don't. And unfortunately, if yours doesn't, you need to do it manually. You might think that this is a big waste of time and it doesn't really make that much of a deal or that big of a difference, but you'd be wrong, very wrong. It takes like 5 minutes to fix this, and it's going to increase your conversion rate on your site because it's not going to be all flip-floppity everywhere. This one's 1080 by 1080, this one's 2K, this one's a 4K, that's like an ultra wide. It's just gotta match. Everything's gotta match. The last thing that you want on your webpage is friction, and having things being all disorienting, even if it's something really small, like the size of an image on your product page. Little things like that are going to add up to increase that conversion rate. Number 3 is going to be your shipping times, but shipping times specifically on your product page. They need to be there. They need to be there very clear, and most importantly for you dropshippers out there, honestly, if your shipping takes 14 days, tell people it takes 14 days. If you don't, and you continuously sell a product on Facebook ads or on any other traffic source, and people are buying your product expecting it to get there within like a week and it just doesn't show up, you're gonna have a customer service nightmare. If you're watching this video in 2020 or 2021, the pandemic might still be a big thing. That's definitely something you can leverage, because I know personally suppliers on AliExpress, for example, are taking longer to ship things because of the pandemic, and they have been for a while. Another route you could go is the green route. Maybe try and emphasize the fact that with every shipment you're doing personal care, you're trying to make sure that emissions are low. Whatever it is, you need to be honest with your shipping times, because if you don't, it's gonna come back to bite you. And most importantly, add it on your product page because that's one of the number one things people are going to be looking for when they're about to buy something, especially if it's an impulse purchase. Number 4, objection handling in your product page copy. No matter what you sell, if it's a high ticket item, a low ticket item, or somewhere in between, there are going to be customer objections. You can't get around it. The more complex your item or product is, the more objections it's going to have inherently. Things like skincare and beauty products, electronics are just some of the areas that are gonna have higher objection rates because they're just more complex than something like a water bottle, for example. So now that we know what customer objections are and that they're inevitable for every product we sell, we need to know a way to get around them or handle them. And my personal recommendation for doing this is literally just loading them up on your product page copy and answering them one by one. If you don't know what the main objections are for your product, you need to do more research, flat out. You need to do more market research. You need to figure out what issues your customer has, maybe what kind of problems that product that you're selling can solve, and then come up with those objections. And again, if you don't know what they are, just do more research. However, there are a couple of things that I like to do if a product has a little bit of traction. You can try and check the reviews for a product on AliExpress. Maybe there's a couple negative reviews that you can take into account. Maybe go on someplace like Amazon if there's a product similar to the one that you're selling in the same niche, and you can kind of pinpoint what people are talking about there as well. Forums are a great place, Facebook groups, etc. But you also want to use common sense. If you're selling a hairbrush, what do you think is going to be the most common objections that you get? I mean, just think about it. Number 1 is probably going to be, does it hurt my scalp while I'm brushing my hair? Number 2, how strong are the follicles? Are they going to break after a little bit of use? Number 3, does it just overall get the job done? Just using common sense without doing any market research or using any market knowledge, I came up with 3 main objections that you're probably going to have if you sell a hairbrush. Number 5, last but not least, this is a very simple one to do, but you'd be surprised the amount of people that just don't know it exists. And that is going to be removing the Powered by Shopify little text snippet in the footer of your website. Very unprofessional. You don't see any big brands doing this, and for good reason. You don't want to give traction or traffic to any company, especially if you're paying a monthly subscription service for something like Shopify for your hosting. All you need to do to fix this is go into your Shopify dashboard, and depending on what theme that you actually have, it's going to be a little bit different, so definitely take a look at the tutorials that are listed for your theme individually, but this is the broad spectrum antidote, I would say. Go to your code, go to the footer.liquid section, and scroll down until you see the Powered by Shopify code, and just delete it. It's that simple. Refresh, save, whatever you gotta do, and it's not gonna be there anymore. It's gonna look a ton more professional. A ton is not correct grammar. A lot more professional, there we go. And that is it. Those are 5 things you can do right now on your Shopify store to increase your conversion rates and ultimately make more money. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found at least 1 or 2 of these things valuable. If you did, a like rating would be greatly appreciated on this video. Again, it does help with the YouTube algorithm. Get this video out there to more people. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, or follow me on Twitter and send me a direct message. I'm happy to help every single one of you out there. If you want to learn my personal testing strategy for Facebook ads to get profitable traffic to your Shopify e-commerce store, go ahead and check out my synthesis testing strategy, and that's going to show you the A to Z formula on how I set up profitable Facebook campaigns for dropshipping and Shopify e-commerce. Until next time, guys, I really do wish you the best of luck with your businesses. Take care.